Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a recently published and, frankly, pretty urgent warning from environmental scientists about a microscopic danger that's basically hiding right under our noses. It's a threat that's quietly emerging on a global scale, and to really understand it, we're going to have to look a whole lot closer at the world around us. Take a look at this thing. It looks almost alien, doesn't it? But researchers are actively sounding the alarm about these tiny life forms, which are known as free-living amoebae. They're actually becoming a serious global health risk. So we're going to break down exactly what they are, why scientists are so incredibly concerned right now, and most importantly, what we can do to protect our water systems. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the basics of this invisible threat. Then we'll get into the mechanics of how they actually survive. And we'll wrap up with the solutions being proposed by experts to keep us safe. All right, Section 1, an invisible global threat, emerging from the microscopic world. According to a team of public health and environmental scientists, including folks over at Shenyang Agricultural University, there's basically a perfect storm brewing, driven by three specific things. First off, rising global temperatures are creating way more hospitable environments for these guys to thrive. Second, our aging water infrastructure is really struggling to keep them out. And that directly impacts the pipes bringing water straight into your home. And third, we currently have incredibly limited systems in place for actually detecting and tracking them before they become a real problem. Moving right along to Section 2, what exactly are these amoebae? At their core, these are single-celled organisms that naturally live right alongside us. They love soil, freshwater lakes, rivers, and, crucially for us, man-made water systems. What's absolutely wild is how they function. They literally move around and feed by physically stretching out parts of their own cell body. That's what gives them that crazy, sprawling shape we saw a second ago. Now here's the catch. There is a huge contrast between the harmless majority and a very rare but totally deadly minority. Most amoeba are completely harmless to us and actually do a lot of good balancing out natural ecosystems. But then you have the dangerous outliers. This includes Naegleria fowleri, which you've probably heard called the brain-eating amoeba. If contaminated water gets up your nose, like say jumping into a warm lake, this organism can travel straight to the brain. It causes a fast-moving infection that is almost always fatal. It's rare, sure, but the severity makes it a massive concern. Which brings us to Section 3, Masters of Ultimate Survival. Beating our defenses. Longfei Xu, a researcher at Sun Yat-sen University, really hits the nail on the head here. The core issue is their extreme resilience. They can survive conditions that would literally obliterate other microbes. Meaning, the standard treatments we rely on every single day to keep our water safe, yeah, they might not be enough to stop these things. Let's look a little closer at those extreme survival skills. These organisms can handle really high temperatures that would normally sterilize water completely. Not only that, they can shrug off strong disinfectants, including the chlorine we use universally in water treatment. Because they are this tough, they can basically just chill inside our water distribution systems, the very systems we assume are perfectly clean. So in older or poorly maintained pipes, standard treatment methods just aren't cutting it anymore. But wait, it gets crazier. The danger isn't just the amoeba itself. Let's look at Section 4, the Trojan horse effect, harboring hidden dangers. Scientists call this the Trojan horse effect, and it's a brilliant way to understand it. These amoeba act as protective shields. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a microscopic safe house. Here's how it works. Step 1. Other harmful microbes, like nasty bacteria and viruses, get inside the amoeba. Step 2. Instead of being destroyed, they use the amoeba to hide, completely shielded from the chlorine in the water supply. And Step 3, those hidden pathogens can now easily persist in our drinking water and spread way further than they ever could on their own. And as if that wasn't enough, there's an evolutionary side effect here. Scientists are super worried that this little microscopic safe haven is actually fueling antibiotic resistance. By surviving inside the amoeba, these trapped pathogens have time to adapt. That compounds the danger, making any resulting infections much harder to treat with standard antibiotics down the line. It's a real game changer. So why is everyone raising the alarm right now? Section 5, expanding with climate change, a growing territory. The answer is our changing climate. As global temperatures creep up, warming waters act as a giant catalyst. Remember, these amoeba absolutely thrive in the heat. So as our lakes and rivers warm up, they're expanding their territory into regions where you just didn't see them before.
We're already seeing this play out. Recent outbreaks linked to recreational water use, like going for a swim during a summer heat wave, are sparking a lot of public concern. The data is telling us pretty clearly this risk just isn't isolated to a few warm weather spots anymore.
But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Section 6, the One Health Solution, a coordinated response. To fight this, researchers are strongly pushing for what they call a One Health approach. Basically, it's a holistic strategy that realizes you can't solve a complex problem in a silo. We can't just fix this at the doctor's office. It's going to take experts in human health, environmental science, and water management all teaming up to tackle the whole shebang from multiple angles at once. And to actually protect us, they've laid out 3 really actionable priorities. Number 1, we urgently need better surveillance and tracking so we can find these amoeba before anyone gets sick. Number 2, the medical field has to develop much faster, more accurate diagnostic tools to catch infections right away. And finally, number 3, we need to upgrade our infrastructure with advanced water treatments specifically designed to knock out these super resilient organisms. Longface Shoe sums it up perfectly right here. Amoeba aren't just a medical problem, and they aren't just an environmental problem. They sit squarely at the intersection of both. If we want to fix this, we have to protect public health right at its source, which means fundamentally rethinking how we manage our environment and our water supply. So as we face down a danger that is completely invisible to the naked eye, a microbe that can literally hijack our water systems and act as a bodyguard for other pathogens, we really have to ask ourselves, are we ready to adapt our global health systems for this new reality? The science is showing us exactly what needs to be done. Now it's just a matter of whether we're going to build the infrastructure to do it. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and remember to keep questioning the world around you.